Now on CoastTV News.
Millsboro road closures, how these new closures all come back to the Millsboro Bypass Project. Vietnam War Veterans Day, how military members were celebrated and honored in Georgetown today.
And we were feeling pretty good out there today in the upper 70s to near 80-degree marks. Not exactly, bright blue skies and sunny, but I am tracking more unseasonably warm air for the second half of the weekend, and then a powerful cold front that's going to be pushing through Monday, which could bring the threat of some severe storms. I'll break it all down to my full forecast here in minutes.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson. Welcome to CoastTV News at 6. We begin tonight paying tribute in Georgetown, honoring those who served and paying tribute to the 26 military members from Sussex County who made the ultimate sacrifice. It was a part of the Vietnam War Veterans Day ceremony in Georgetown. A 21-gun salute was a part of the event. The names of those Sussex County service members were read at the memorial, which is now located at the village of College Park. March 29th is the day American combat troops left Vietnam following the Paris Peace Accords, which was signed by the United States, North Vietnamese, and South Vietnamese governments. This afternoon, veterans were able to pay their respects on this day of remembrance. Closures are coming to Millsboro related to the ongoing bypass project. According to DelDOT crews, they will conduct nighttime closures on Route 113 beginning April 6th through April 11th. The agency says this is to place beams for the new bridge from April 6th to April 9th. There will be closures on 113 for drivers going south, and then from April 9th to the 11th, there will be closures on 113 for drivers going north. DelDOT crews say they will work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and detours will be in place. Starting Monday, March 31st, students in the Indian River School District will be spending a little extra time in class. The district is adding 20 minutes to each school day to make up for time lost to bad weather. The school day will be extended until the end of the year. Today, Deneric Mosquito Control is already applying insecticide. This ranging from today through this upcoming Monday. Spraying will occur during the daylight hours in Georgetown and Woodside, also in areas near Ellendale, Felton, and Milton. The product being used poses no unreasonable risk to human health, wildlife, or the environment. For more information, visit the Mosquito Control Spray information site. Horseshoe crab volunteers are needed to protect the Delaware Bay ecosystem. This summer, thousands of horseshoe crabs will return to Delaware Bay to spawn, and that's a vital event that supporters are not only for the crabs, but migratory shorebirds as well. Delaware Wildlands is calling on volunteers to help with its annual surveys, which provides crucial data to track population trends. Without enough volunteers, vital data could be lost, putting these ancient creatures at risk. Those new to the survey must attend an in-person training on April 19th at Slaughter Beach from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Delaware lawmakers are looking at the possibility of bringing nuclear power to the first state. A resolution is making its way through legislature that would explore the feasibility of nuclear energy. This is a look from our Coast Copter at the Salem Nuclear Power Plant across the Delaware River in New Jersey. Nuclear provides half of New Jersey's electricity. Delaware is initially proposing something much smaller that they're calling small modular reactors. That resolution passed in the Senate this week with bipartisan support and now heads to the House in Delaware. We now take a live look into Milford, and we bring in our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobuono. And Chris, it was truly a great day outside today.
Yeah, we didn't exactly have, crystal clear blue skies, but I'll tell you what, temperatures got up into the 70s to near 80, and we're still in the 70s at this hour. You can see temperatures across the mid-Atlantic. Well, a chilly 53 there in New York City, but to the south, we're 78 in Philly, 75 in Salisbury, and you can see 75 Milton, 78 in Redden, holding into the mid-70s. The cool spot there, Ocean City, coming in at 58. You can see wind flow out of the southwest, and we're going to continue to see that wind flow at least for the next 2 days. You can see the clouds we had early this morning. We had some breakage in the clouds, some sun filtering through, especially across interior Delmarva. You could see that front. The front's actually going to slide south overnight, not quite make it all the way south into Delmarva. So we're going to continue to see the milder air tomorrow with cloudy skies. A few showers late, overnight sunny into Monday, and then Monday looks to be an active day, especially at night. We're tracking a pretty strong cold front that could bring the threat of some strong to severe storms. So no issues tonight with mostly cloudy skies, but another mild night. Some of us may not even dip below 60 degrees. We'll talk more about that severe storm threat coming up Monday in the full 7-day. Brandon?
Thank you, Chris. Now to state politics. A group of Democrats in the Delaware House of Representatives are pushing a bill that puts restrictions on local law enforcement in assisting the federal government with illegal migrants. House Bill 94 restricts local law enforcement to help federal agencies with their efforts if they take place at a school or churches. They can only assist if they get permission from the Attorney General. And it's worth noting a similar bill is being debated in Maryland's General Assembly. A hearing on House Bill 1222 took place in Annapolis last week. And these lawmakers want to ban state and local law enforcement from entering into immigration enforcement agreements with the federal government. It would then require any current agreements to be terminated by July 1st. This bill has been approved by the State House and is now being reviewed in the Senate. And right now on CoastTV.com, you can view the new bills and other legislation introduced this week. Hundreds of anti-Elon Musk protests took place at Tesla dealerships today across the country. Organizers call the campaign Tesla Takedown. Hundreds of protesters attended the demonstration in Rockville, Maryland today. They're targeting Tesla because of its CEO Elon Musk is using his wealth to support his political views that they say is a threat to democracy. President Trump has appointed him to the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, that has been carrying out large staff reductions at federal agencies.
What I'm seeing is a lot of people are losing their jobs. What are people supposed to do? Are we going to get to a society where the majority of the people are homeless with no food to eat? What do we stand for if we don't stand for freedom and democracy?
In Rehoboth Beach, protests against the government and the Trump administration continues as Indivisible Southern Delaware has been organizing these protests every Saturday in Rehoboth Beach. This footage on your screen is from last week's protest, but it was confirmed to Coast TV News that a protest was held today.
Well, we're looking in live into Salisbury where we see those cloudy skies, 75 degrees. Winds are out of the south at about 8 miles an hour and a mild night under cloudy skies. And we're tracking more milder air tomorrow and the threat of some severe storms Monday. We'll break it all down here in minutes.
The FCC is investigating Disney and ABC over the company's DEI practices. We have this story after the break here on Coast TV News at 6.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
The FCC is investigating ABC and its parent company Disney over diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. A Friday letter from the FCC to Disney CEO Bob Iger said the agency wants to, quote, ensure that Disney and ABC have not been violating FCC equal employment opportunity regulations by promoting DEI discrimination. The probe is the latest escalation in the Trump administration's crackdown on diversity programs in private American companies. A Disney spokesperson said the company is reviewing the FCC's letter and looks forward to answering the agency's questions. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is signing a bill aimed at shrinking the Defense Department's civilian workforce. Friday's memo also reactivated the deferred resignation program and offered voluntary early retirement for all eligible employees. The memo did not specify the number of civilian positions to be cut. However, the department announced last month that it plans to ultimately let go of up to 8% of its civilian workforce. The Pentagon employs roughly 950,000 civilian employees.
Well, a mild Sunday morning as you make your way off to brunch, and we are looking at plenty of cloud cover in play tomorrow, but still quite mild. Temperatures reaching the upper 60s to eventually the 70s. We do talk about that threat of severe storms. We'll have the latest timing on when you can expect that active weather rolling in when Coast TV News at 6 continues. Hard to believe it's the final weekend of March, and quite a mild day at that, even with cloud cover across the area. As we take a live look into Cambridge, we're at 75 right now. A rather uneventful evening as far as any weather is concerned. We're going to remain quite balmy with overcast skies and temperatures falling to around 66 by around 10. We're holding at 60 in Bethany. We're at 77 in Rehoboth Beach, 78 in Redden, 75 Del Mar, and we're at 76 in Seaford. You can see that wind flow out of the southwest. We're seeing gusts upwards of 10 to 15, but those winds will be calming through the overnight. 78 was our high in Georgetown today, averages 60. Now the record 87. I said earlier, if we would have had some sun, like full-blown sunshine today, we definitely would have maybe challenged that record. But cloudy skies across the area, another unseasonably mild night. Only falling into the upper 50s to lower 60s. That's where we should be for average highs for this time of year. And we're going to keep the cloud cover in play, but still keep the mild temperatures. But we're keeping a close eye on Monday night. We have that slight risk, 2 out of 5 for the potential to see damaging winds. Small craft advisory up for the Bay. That runs through about 4 a.m. We are dry and clear despite the cloudy skies. As far as any rain is concerned, we have a stalled out frontal boundary. It's going to advance southward and probably park over southeastern Pennsylvania tonight. But you can see this front and all the moisture riding along the front. And boy, it is a battle of the seasons. You can see summer to the south, spring, and then winter to the north. And that's going to create quite a potent storm system across the plains in the Ohio Valley. 62 overnight in Redden. We're at 58 in Rehoboth Beach under cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we're cloudy, we're mild, we're a bit on the breezy side. 77 in Milford. See a high of 75 in Easton, 75 in Cambridge, 77 Princess Anne, and 66 in Ocean City. You can see we have a few shower chances late Sunday night and a Monday morning, but the main focus of concern is Monday night for the threat of torrential downpours. And as I mentioned, the Storm Prediction Center has placed the entire Delmarva Peninsula under that slight risk where we could see a damaging wind threat and a scattered severe storm as we go into Monday night. There's Futurecast showing the cloudy skies tomorrow afternoon. Mid to upper 70s, and then as we go into Monday morning, a damp start, mild, a few scattered showers, area of drizzle. I do think most of the day is dry and quite windy with gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour. As we go into 9 o'clock, you can see some pretty strong storms rolling through, torrential downpours into the wee hours of Tuesday morning, and that is really our severe threat window, and then cool Canadian air rolls in by Tuesday. There you see those winds gusting Monday upwards of 35, 40 miles an hour, and we could be picking up upwards of 1.5 inches to close to 1.25 inches of rain once that front clears out. We do stay rather unsettled as we go into Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. We dip into the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. We're right back up to 78 Thursday with scattered thunderstorms potentially Friday into Saturday.
After the break on Coast TV News, a helicopter landing on its side in Florida, what officials say happened, and a close call at the Reagan International Airport between an Air Force jet and a commercial flight. We have that next. There was a close call near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport yesterday. It involved a Delta passenger plane headed for Minneapolis and a U.S. Air Force jet. 2 pilots, 3 flight attendants, and 131 passengers were on board the Delta plane. In a statement, a Delta spokesperson emphasized the importance of safety and said the flight crew followed procedures to maneuver the aircraft as instructed. There was no immediate comment from the Air Force about the close call, and the FAA is now investigating this close call. A helicopter crashed in the backyard of a home Friday night in Seminole County, Florida. It crashed on its side. Authorities say the pilot was the only one on board and he's okay. The pilot said there was a sudden gust of wind that caused the crash. Seminole County officials have turned over their investigation of the incident to the FAA. Still to come on Coast TV News at 6, is your phone to blame for lack of focus? A new survey says it's not all the blame on your phone. And measles cases on the rise, how it's spreading across the Southwest. That's next. A multi-state measles outbreak in the southwestern United States has now reached at least 453 cases. Yesterday, Texas reported 400 cases, New Mexico had 44, and Oklahoma reported at least 9 cases. The number of cases is several dozen higher over 3 days' time. Meanwhile, Kansas health officials report 24 measles cases. That state's health department believes its cases could be linked to the outbreaks in Texas and New Mexico. If you feel distracted by your phone, the problem may be you. That's according to a new study published in Frontiers in Computer Science. Researchers found that when faced with boring tasks, people do use their cell phones for a distraction. But if it's not nearby, you'll probably just distract yourself some other way. The study's author says distractions are everywhere, but that's not the problem. The problem is people seek them out. And after the break here on Coast TV News at 6, we have a final check on your forecast.
As always, you can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Brockstead Mandalas Federico. Now, your 10-day forecast shows the mild air continuing into sunny into Monday. Could wake up to a few early morning showers Monday, but the primary focus of concern would be Monday night for the threat of some potential severe storms with damaging winds. We cool down, some nice cool air midweek, and then we warm things up. Turn a bit unsettled Thursday, really through the weekend. Not going to be raining all day, every day, but we do keep the shower and storm threat in play Friday through the weekend.
Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Be sure to join us tonight at 11. Until then, have a great night.